Lock in all sports, all plays, all 5% best bets from now until Super Bowl 57 on February 12, 2023 from your favorite WagerTalk handicapper for only $1,199 versus a regular price of $1,999 for one total savings of $800. This limited time super discount comes out to less than $100 per month and only $3.28 per day. As an added bonus, your all access starts immediately, so the sooner you buy before Super Bowl 56, the more additional days you will get for free. Just go to WagerTalk.com, choose your favorite handicapper to lock in, and don't forget there is no limit to the amount of handicappers you can redeem our Super Bowl to Super Bowl offer on.
Hey guys, welcome in on a very happy Wednesday to you, February the 2nd, and we got some NBA to talk about here tonight. Some interesting spots on the card, a couple of back-to-backs. Any value? Well, I can't think of three better guys here to help us sort through it all than today's crew as we welcome back in Steve Merrill in the house, fresh off his field hockey coaching duties. Teddy Covers awaiting a new member of the family. And, of course, Rob Vino in the house here today. Back at it, Rob, on this Wednesday. Merrill, welcome back. Congratulations. Big 5% winner last night for you in college hoops. What are you backing it up with tonight for us here?
Yeah, it was our biggest college basketball play this season, wire to wire with Mississippi State. And thank you to everybody out there that joined us. Over 1,300 people got on board for that, so it was a nice cash. And as I said yesterday with Teddy on Wager Talk today, look, the $2 is a great way to sample out, try things out. We had over 100 and some new clients for the first time. And as I also said yesterday, reinvest. Long-term subscription is the way to go. And don't forget, not only do I have two best bets tonight, one in college, one in pro hoops, but you can still get this next week for free. Free, Rob Vino's favorite word, free. When you sign up for the one-year package, it starts from Super Bowl to next Super Bowl. So every day that you get on board now is an extra day you're getting for free. Actually, 2 weeks. 2 weeks for free when you sign up now. It gets you from this Super Bowl to next, and the next couple of weeks included for free. And an $800 discount on top of that, Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com.
Yeah, you can't go wrong there, guys. What a great opportunity. One free week on top of, 52 other weeks, in fact, that you'll be getting. Everybody's. I mean, whoever you choose, whether it be Steve or it be Teddy Covers for that matter, either at Sports Memo and or WagerTalk.com. You got every one of their best bets, every one of them for a full year, including today. I understand. Is there a 5% best bet in your future coming up?
I got a 5%, and this is rare. I think I've only had it one other time. I got a 5% play up for the Super Bowl. For what that's worth. The game absolutely jumped at me. The line value was there. The line is far off from where I made my number. And I'm going to, again, you don't often see a Super Bowl where you're like, yeah, I'm loading up on this game. I'm loading up on the Super Bowl for what it's worth. And I do have a 3-pack available in hoops tonight over at both Wager Talk and SportsMember.com. 2 in the NBA, 1 in the college ranks, looking for the 3-0 sweep.
Never seen Teddy jump on a Super Bowl game at that and a 5% of all things as quick as he did. So, yeah, guys, opportunity exists here over at Wager Talk and or SportsMemo.com with Teddy and Rob Vino coming off a night last night. We had you on the show yesterday, Rob, and boy, oh boy, it wasn't the greatest of cards, but we had some spots we picked and choose. What do you got tonight here on the card for us?
Yeah, tonight's card looks a whole lot better than last night's did, Joe. I have 3 NBA plays, WagerTalk.com. Credit to our colleague Tony Finn, who hit this show yesterday and kind of anti'd everything we were saying and wound up walking away with all winners. Yep. So, a little difficult road yesterday as far as the card was. I don't think it was well liked by a bunch of us, but tonight seems to be much, much better. As I mentioned, 3 plays up and available right now, WagerTalk.com. I wish I could have gotten with Steve earlier. I'd had Steve read my promo because he's the best at that. But I'll just settle with that. Hop over to WagerTalk.com.
Yeah, still plenty of time to do math here. And in our defense, Tony Finn was high. So let's go on to our contrarian play of the day. Let's start it there, guys, as we are going to look. Well, what better place to look than Madison Square Garden, if we can, and the New York Knicks looking at taking 4 points here from the Memphis Grizzlies, who were handed pretty much a gift from the gods above there with no Joel Embiid, and they shit all over it. So now they get to go to the Garden here, and of course, Steve, we've talked about it. These Memphis Grizzlies have become quite the public darling, and this line, it continues to creep up here throughout the day. So what do you think? New York Knicks, Memphis Grizzlies here tonight.
Yeah, this team has now covered 13 of their last 17 games. So it's what we call a speeding bullet, right? We don't want to try to jump in front of it. They did fail to win, though, as a favorite at Philly, like you said, without Embiid. So maybe they're coming back down to earth. But as we see so often, guys, the over-adjustment of the line, the Pacers the other night go from a favorite to a dog. They win outright. When these key players are out, teams step up in that first game. So I'm not going to overreact too much and say, hey, this Memphis, hot streak is ending, because they did win and cover the 3 games before that. They should be focused here off the loss. And the Knicks were a team, last year, your New York Knicks, Joe Raineri, that we talked about a lot here on the show. They hit their season win total about halfway through the season last year. They won 40-some games. Their total was 23 for the season. They made the playoffs. They were exposed by the Hawks in that first round of the playoffs, and Randall did not step up, and really feel like they were kind of a play-against team coming in this season. And despite being 24-27, they're actually 25-26 against the spread. So they've kind of treading water. Contrast that, though, to the Grizzlies, 35-18, 34-9 ATS. I don't dare upset the contrarian gods, but Memphis would be the only way I would play this game. Coming off the straight-up loss, they should be focused. And at -4, I know it's gone from 2 to 4. It's still a basic straight-up win situation. Maybe the line's getting a little hefty, but Memphis is the only way I would play it.
So, Teddy, style makes fight, right? It's an interesting style fight here with these two teams, because you've got a Memphis team that certainly likes to score in and around, the mid-range and the paint. And, well, the Knicks are pretty good at defending all of that. So what do you think of the chances the Knicks have tonight maybe of even winning, or if not covering this game?
So I will not, for a minute, consider offending the contrarian gods in this one. And I was just going back and looking. I'm like, I have bet against the Grizzlies in months. I bet against them once in December in cash. I bet against them once in November in cash. And that's the only time I think all year I bet against Memphis. They've been the vast majority of Memphis games that I've played. I've been on the Grizzlies. And it's been a long time, like I said, since I've stepped in front of Memphis. That said, which of these two teams is the overvalued commodity right now? Okay, Memphis has been red hot for 6 weeks. They have a huge betting bandwagon. The Knicks have underachieved all year. They have no betting bandwagon. And if there's one role the Grizzlies have been profitable in every role, except for one. That's short chalk for the season, a sub-500 team against the spread at -4.5 or less. I like the Knicks coming off the win. I like what the Knicks are saying locker room-wise. I think they give Memphis a game tonight. Someone's going to win this one at the last minute, which means +4. Probably gets me interested. Knicks or pass.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm excited there. We got a little we got one for the possible Knicks play here, Rob Vino. What do you think? Contrarian gods. Nobody likes to flip them off like you do. So what do you think here, Rob? Is it are you backing the contrarian gods, or F you? What are you gonna do?
It's difficult. However, point spread value goes straight toward the New York Knicks. I mean, power ratings that I keep show Memphis should be about a 0.5 point favorite on the road here. Steven Adams with a question mark next to his name. If that does become the case, a little edge for the Knicks inside the paint with Robinson and Noel and their guys. And defensively, I think you talked about it, or somebody mentioned it, that Memphis just loves to attack the rim. And the other night, with no Joel Embiid present, it was obvious. It was kind of an assault on the rim. Andre Drummond, though, to his credit, stood up and played very, very well. I don't know that there'll be such an assault on the rim here against the Knicks, who can protect it pretty well. So that leaves Memphis to their outside shooting, which we know can come and go. The Knicks, Joe, have become a little bit hot in the role we used to love them in last year. Knicks first half. In their last 5 games, they're now 4-1 against the spread first half. They were having difficulties getting off to a good start. It seems to have turned around a little bit. They played a little better defense last time. I hate to go against Memphis only because of the disappointing loss the other night when really, I mean, we saw that game had like an 8-point swing toward them, and they still found a way to blow it in overtime to the Philadelphia 76ers. So I know they'll be determined here. John Morant took the brunt of the loss on his shoulders. Would expect him to play well here. But again, the fundamentals and the line value might sway me slightly toward the Knicks here in this game. And maybe even Knicks first half, Joe.
I'm looking at that as well there, Rob. In fact, the 4:30 just came out. The Knicks, pretty much a clean bill of health there. Memphis, still no Dylan Brooks, and Steven Adams still listed as questionable in that one. So the contrarian gods have spoken. It's the New York Knicks, plus the points here tonight at home, taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. All right, let's head over to our featured matchup here tonight, and that'll include 2 teams. Boy, oh boy, what a difference a month makes here. The Utah Jazz taking on the Denver Nuggets. And Denver, unfortunately, well, actually, both these teams have done a great job of losing to the Minnesota Timberwolves recently. In fact, I think that's the last team both these teams lost to. Denver last night, Utah, I believe, on Sunday night. But Utah finds themselves as a short home favorite in this one, with an opening total of 226. And I think it's safe to say still no Mitchell, no Rudy Gobert. And it looks like we still have Jokic and Gordon, DeMar. Everybody's still questionable for Denver here. But we know what we're going to get here, Teddy, with Utah without Rudy Gobert or Donovan Mitchell. So any chance that you might want to look at the slight home favorite in this one?
So we were talking off air before the show about the hell no teams. All right. Teams that, it's hell no. I'm not putting my money on them. And Sacramento's at the top of that list, and the Washington Wizards right now are at or near the top of that list for me in the NBA. But I left one team out. Can't be putting money on the Utah Jazz right now. Okay. This isn't a little slump for Utah. They're 0-5 in their last 5. They're 2-10 in their last 12. When you talk about Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, that's not 2 players. That's 2 all-stars. Okay? You're playing without 2 all-stars. Then you throw in, you want to talk about a team that was crushed by an injury. The Joe Ingles injury is no joke. All right? That is a locker room leader. Everybody in that franchise loves the guy. Oh, he just tore his ACL. He's out for the year. He may not play again in the NBA. Doesn't look like Hassan Whiteside's going to play. So not only don't they have Gobert, they don't have Whiteside either. And the latest I saw is Jordan Clarkson may not suit up tonight for Utah. And Daniel House, another guy who instant offense, they got a bunch of instant offense guys. House isn't playing this evening either. So Utah's in a nasty slump. They're riddled with injuries. They're laying points. And Denver, who no-showed last night, to a man, no one was amused by that result. So I am concerned about the Nuggets injury report, but I want no part of Utah. It's Denver or pass for this bet.
It's a good point here, and the market seems to be liking Utah in this spot, Rob Vino, as I believe 4s are even starting to pop up in the marketplace. The totals come down from 226. I'm seeing the 221s, even 220 and a halves here. So how do you approach this game tonight?
All right, so obvious indication by the line movements that they don't expect Nikola Jokic to go on back-to-back nights, right? We waited up until the last minute last night to see if he was going to go. It was the front end of a back-to-back. Perhaps they chose last night. It was a 15-point failure. And looking at the MASH unit that is the Utah Jazz, Teddy described it really well. Maybe they figure we'll sit Jokic here tonight. when you look at this game, guys, holy cow. I mean, both of these teams pretty much ravaged, but way more so Utah than Denver. And is there a big man in this game? As I went through the rotations for both of these teams in this game, and if Jokic doesn't go and you're Denver, your only center is Zeke Nnaji. And for the Jazz, without Gobert and Whiteside, your center is Udoka Azubuike. And that's it. Two big men in this whole game that barely play 10 minutes a night. We talk about assault on the rim. There's little guys for Denver, plenty. You have Monty Morris, you have Will Barton, you have Campazzo, Highland, Forbes, on and on and on. So they've got scorers on that team. If Aaron Gordon doesn't go, it takes even more rim protection away from Denver. I'm really, I'm hoping that they push this total down even more because I can see this. And Steve, you can attest to this a lot of times. Last year, we talked about these roll out the balls games where they're just little guys on the floor. If you look at the Jazz, you still have a couple of guys who can score. Mike Conley, Bogdanovich, Royce O'Neal, 3-point shooters, right? If Clarkson doesn't go, it hinders them. I think when push comes to shove here, I checked out the Utah Jazz numbers, Joe. We talked about it yesterday. Without Rudy Gobert in the lineup. He's been gone for 4 games. The totals have hit 232, 228, 224, and it was a 202 mixed in there with Phoenix. But for the most part, they've been up and over the number. Might be a safe way to go here in this game, which to me, guys, looks to be a battle of little guys and a battle of tempo. Denver has become a horrendous defense and a really good offense. At the beginning of the year, we were talking about them being really slow tempo and you can't play them over, but that's changed drastically. So I think I might look over 221 in that game.
Yeah, it's listen, the total might be the best way to look at this game, Steve Merrill. How do you approach it here tonight?
I totally agree. No pun intended. Totally agree. No, Rob, exactly what I was going to say. We talked about this last year. When all these players were out, these were still high-level college all-stars, right? It's not like in college where you miss a key player or two, there's a huge drop-off with the bench. These guys can all score, and it's an audition for a lot of guys to get more minutes and show that they can score. They don't care as much about defense. 13 players combined on the injury report for these two teams. And, I disagree with the contrarian earlier. I'll make it up to you now, Joe. I'll be contrarian with the over. And as Rob said, it's dropped from 226 down to 221, even some 220 and a halves out there. I like the over here. That'll be a contrarian call for this one because it's hard for me to really say this should be the featured game of the night. So we'll make this another contrarian game, and I'll look at the over as well.
All right, he's going with the over in this one. The market says, no, give me the under and give me the Utah Jazz. Not so fast here, guys. But speaking of a total, let's move to our overtime matchup. And if it's points you like, well, it's points you're probably going to get in this one here, guys, as we take a look at the Brooklyn Nets and the Sacramento Kings. 230.5 is an open. We knew that wouldn't last long. 232.5 in spots here. And coming off of that game last night, Brooklyn against Phoenix in a losing effort. But now, get back up on that horse, Rob Vino. So what do you think here? Is it simply an over or not with these two teams tonight?
Well, I think the little bit of a push is in anticipation of maybe De'Aaron Fox coming back tonight. It seems like it's a real possibility that he'll play this entire road trip. So from that standpoint, I think that, obviously he's helpful to Sacramento when it comes to scoring points. I'm going to get your blessing here, and I'm going to go to quotes. This has, because Teddy and I we seem to pick the quotes from the same exact place, but talking a little bit before about interest in games, and it was just interesting to me that Alvin Gentry already at this stage of the season, the All-Star game isn't even being played yet, was asked if his players have thrown the towel in on the season. And his response wasn't a ringing endorsement of we're going out there and giving you 48 good minutes every night, guys. His answer was that is something they would have to answer individually. We sure hope not, because that opportunity that we have to be an NBA player and the lifestyle that it affords you, I think you have to be crazy to quit. There's a coach who doesn't even know where his locker room stands. In those cases, again, I like, most NBA players' mentality is offense first, defense last. Davion Mitchell, rookie out of Baylor, probably wonders how the hell he ever got thrown on this team because he loves to play defense. But I would think that since it seems like James Harden is okay, Steve Nash says that the inflammation in his hand has gone down and he feels pretty well and that he can function really well. I would think that you probably get a lot of points here, Joe. There's no way I could bet it under. It is the first home game for Sacramento after a really long road trip, back from the east onto the west. But yeah, I would have to say over in this contest.
No, the 4:30, no Harden on there, Steve. So just the usual suspects for Brooklyn. Kyrie back in for them here in this spot as well. So what do you think? Are you looking at the over, or do you think do you not trust them and maybe look at the under?
I kind of like Brooklyn as a side in this game because I think they will be focused off the 5 straight losses. My concern was that Harden might rest. Like you said, he's not on the injury report yet. Durant out till March, of course. If they do take this game serious after 5 straight losses, the over would concern me a little bit for that reason because they might have more defensive intensity. But Sacramento cannot stop anybody. You look at these recent games, they've given up 121 points or more in 4 of the 6, 116 or more in 5 of their last 6. And as Rob said, they're back here off the extended road trip. Their offense, I think, actually gets a little better probably at home. Defense has been awful, 50% allowed in each of the last 3 games. They've shot very poor, though. On the road, they've shot 43% or worse in 3 of those last 4 games. That's why they're on 4 straight unders. But back home, I think they shoot better, and I think Brooklyn gets plenty of points as well. But once again, I'd actually look at the side in this one. I think Brooklyn's probably the best way to play this game, and I'll probably stay off the total.
All right. Likes the side, though. Not crazy about the total. Teddy, De'Aaron Fox, if he is a go, is it an over for you?
So it's not going to be an over if Fox plays. It's going to be an under if he doesn't. Look at what the Sacramento Kings are doing offensively in recent contests. 75, 104, 101, 96. The ball movement isn't there. The shot selection isn't there. I'll give Halliburton all the credit in the world for cobbling together some semblance of an offense, but getting over 232 and a half requires both teams to score. And right now, the Kings can't do that. This is they're a hell no team because they're not bringing on either end of the court. And you have a Brooklyn team that's on the second of back-to-backs. They're still shorthanded. No interest from Brooklyn in pushing pace in this one, especially if they build a lead. Yeah, I'll look at the under if Fox doesn't play. If he does, maybe Sacramento pushes the pace and all of that. But in his first game back, but if Fox doesn't play, this total is way too high.
Good point there. Yep. Perception versus reality with these two teams, guys. 232.5 right now at the total with Sacramento and Brooklyn. All right, let's take a look at the dogs that are barking here. What do we got, Robert? Let's see.
That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. And anybody got to say anything, you let me know. That's my dog.
All right, well, we got a few interesting ones on the card tonight here, including the hell no Washington Wizards, the Orlando Magic back in a familiar spot. How about Charlotte getting 6 in this game? Knicks, we talked about. The Rockets. Wow, shocked. We got the Rockets to choose from. How about the Thunder in double digits? You got Denver. We do have the Kings. And, of course, the Trailblazers taking on the Lakers in the late game. They are a dog here. So, Steve Merrill, start us off here. Which one of these dogs would you make your own tonight?
Oh, man, I'll tell you, it's bad when the featured game is the Nuggets Jazz, right, with 13 injuries, because there's a lot of dogs out there, and there's not too many of them that are appealing to me. I'd probably, normally, hey, look, my go-to is normally Oklahoma City as a double-digit dog, right? But Dallas is coming off a loss, so I'm going to stay away from that one. A couple I was looking at here, maybe, I don't trust the Wizards. I'm staying away from that one. The only two really was maybe Robert's Houston Rockets, perhaps. But I don't want to make him too happy. So I'll go with that late game. I'll look at the Portland-LA Laker game. I'm seeing Davis and LeBron as game-time decisions, so obviously I'm going to stay off the game for that reason. But even if they return, that line will probably go up a bit. And sometimes it's a distraction having players back, and they haven't been together. I'll lean Portland as my dog here. Nothing I really love tonight. Other thing I'll point out about that Lakers situation is they're coming off of 6 straight road games. and they've got the Clippers on deck tomorrow. It's technically a road game tomorrow, same arena, obviously. So not a great spot for LA tonight, especially with all the uncertainty with all the key players. I think Portland could be a live dog tonight, +4.
Ooh, I like that. No LeBron, and Westbrook going to be handling duties there in the front. He'll drop 30 and they'll lose by 20. All right, Teddy, come on, talk to us. Which one of these dogs are you leaning towards?
Well, if you had the Magic last night, you didn't like the last 3 minutes of that game. Tied at 115 all with 3 minutes left, and Chicago scores the last 11 points of the game to win 126-115. That ended Orlando's 2-game winning streak. That being said, how can we not have a buy sign on the Magic right now? Okay, they won 2 in a row. They played Chicago even for 45 minutes last night, fell apart at the end. But Orlando's young talent, all healthy. They're veterans on the bench. That Ross Harris combo, difference makers every night. The low post defense is there with Wendell Carter and Mo Bamba. I think Orlando's better than Indiana. Okay, and they're catching points. I know it's a second of back-to-back. Pacers can't be laying. This team is as false a favorite as you can find. They're miserable in short line games, whether the dogs are favorites, and they're playing without Sabonis and Brogdon, and Turner and McConnell and Piazza isn't going to play tonight. Brissett isn't going to play tonight. It's Indiana's got no business as chalk. Give me Orlando, even on the second of back-to-backs, +3.5. That is a client play. I'm giving it for you right here on the NBA Tip-Off Show.
Way. People look at the Orlando Magic, Rob Vino. We used to make fun of them a lot, but I think there's a window of opportunity. Teddy's onto something here to back the Magic, but is that where you're leaning here tonight?
No, I'll travel the road that Steve Merrill was too scared to travel, the Tin Man over there. Oklahoma City Thunder +12 against Dallas, which, guys, they're one of those teams, Teddy, you just talked about. Orlando won 2 in a row. This is one of the teams that they beat. Dallas now, without Kristaps Porzingis, apparently they're being overly cautious with him because he's got inflammation that they want to go down. The broken foot, the foot surgery to Tim Hardaway Jr. is a crippler as far as additional offense is concerned. That's 2 guys right there where you probably get 45 points per game, if not more. Their bench the other night against Orlando consists of Reggie Bullock, Josh Green, Marquise Chris. Just not a ton of offense coming out of there with the slowest tempo team in the NBA. A couple of starters on this team, and Dwight Powell and Maxi Kleber, who really don't light it up. Oklahoma City, I get it. SGA's out, but Josh Giddey took over at the point guard the other night. Josh Giddey's going to be an all-star down the road. I think he had 14, 12, and 4 the other night was his line, the 12 being rebounds. And they beat Portland by 17 points without Gilgeous-Alexander. I think 12 is just too many. Dallas can win this game at home, but asking them with that limited offense and that slow pace to win by more than 12, to me, seems to be a little much. Jeremiah Robinson-Earl comes back tonight for Oklahoma City. They start him at center because he's just a way better defensive player than Derek Favors is. More defense there. Give me OKC +12. I think if they lose, it won't be by double digits.
I'm with you, man. They didn't lose any defense with Gilchrist gone. That's for sure. Did a great job there. So some interesting places to go on the board if you're looking for a dog tonight. But how about a best bet here now? We'll start off. Steve Merrill, 60 seconds on the clock to tell us all about some sort of math special that you're going to cut into Rob Vino with in some way. You got a prop or two. Give us a best bet. What do you got going on tonight?
The math is simple, fellas. Since I joined WagerTalk.com last year, nobody has won more units in college basketball than I have. Cashed a big play last night, and I've got another strong one going tonight, along with an NBA best bet. 2 strong best bets tonight on Wednesday, and a 5% best bet for Super Bowl 56. Don't forget, though, if you sign up now for that annual package, you get an additional 2 weeks for free. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. Let's look at the Brooklyn Nets tonight. Both teams, Brooklyn at Sacramento, on extended losing streaks entering here, but Brooklyn's still the superior team, and I look for them to bounce back with a solid win. Sacramento coming off the 5 straight road games, and they have another road game at Golden State tomorrow. Not a good spot for them here. Terrible defensive team. They have consistently allowed above 50% shooting in 3 straight games. Their offense has struggled. Brooklyn not playing well defensively at times, but their offense is still consistent. I'll take the better team to bounce back in a focus spot. Brooklyn Nets minus the 4.5. And Joe, I'm back. I've got a new prop. My James Blair Lady Spiders autographed basketball.
Oh, no. Hurry up. Oh, no. Look at this. Oh, no. Oh, good God almighty. Almost took it back. Cut it off. Cut. Everyone always took out his own camera. Oh, my goodness. Nice ball there. That's good stuff there, Steve. All right, Teddy. Your turn here. Don't hit the camera, but in 60 seconds, talk to us about the best bet tonight. Where are you looking?
I was thinking about grabbing my ball and just whipping it straight at the screen. Here's the quote from Cavs head coach, JB Bickerstaff. Quote, "We're built to win ugly because we can bank on our defense getting the stops that we need to get. So it doesn't have to be pretty for us. What we got to continue to improve, especially without Darius, is transitioning from defense to offense more quickly, blah, 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 blah." Cleveland has only one game plan in the Darius Garland hurt, Colin Sexton hurt, Rondo hurt, every guard they have hurt. Only one thing they can do. They have to play defense. And maybe they'll try to get out in transition and run a little bit tonight. That's why this total is as high as it is. But Houston cannot control pace against Cleveland. Cleveland controls pace against everyone. They ugly it up. They play defense. And I think this game stays under the total, just like most Cavs games have of late. Under.
Love it. All right. Cavs under. Shocker. Go ahead, Rob Vino. Talk to us here. Where might you be going here on the card tonight?
Well, I'm going to go to one of the teams Teddy listed as hell no. And I, too, am going to fade them. I'm going to play the Sixers in the first half here. Their lack of point guards, guys, doesn't necessarily take me off of them against the Wizards, but the return of Joel Embiid against a centerless Washington Wizards certainly puts me on Philadelphia. Montrezl Harrell, your starting center. He's the matchup for Joel. Looks like another 40-point game coming. I think Philadelphia gets out of the blocks really quick here tonight. Washington, as you mentioned earlier, Joe, they were in that game last night for 3+ quarters. And then I think, as Teddy said, they got punched and they went away. I don't know that they recuperate in back-to-backs right away, first half here. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Sixers to come out quick with Embiid, making his presence felt. I think first half is a real good way to go. I wouldn't talk anybody off full game, but I'm going to take Philly first half over the Wizards.
I'm liking Philly to come out swinging tonight, Rob Vino does. All right, it's an interesting card here, guys. Let's recap it one more time for you. As Steve Merrill, -1 camera, he does like the Trailblazers as his dog tonight, +4 against the Lakers. His best bet, however, is Brooklyn to get back in the win column, laid the 4.5 against the Kings, while Teddy, don't sleep on the Magic, even though most everyone has the entire season, +3.5. Keep an eye on them. Him is his dog there, and the Cavs Rockets under tonight, 219 in that matchup, while Rob Vino, he's going to look at the Thunder. Give him the 12. Doesn't trust Dallas in this spot here. And, of course, the best bet, his Sixers lay it in the first half, are contrarian gods. They're looking at the Knicks getting that 4 at the Garden against the Memphis Grizzlies. And keep in mind here, guys, best bets are locked and loaded at WagerTalk.com. They include Teddy's Super Bowl 5% best bet already, guys. Hop on that over at WagerTalk and/or SportsMemo.com. You heard Steve Merrill tell you, locked and loaded here tonight. Teddy's even got three hoops games on his card tonight, as does Rob Vino, guys. All of it available right now at WagerTalk.com. Visit Rob Vino. Visit Steve Merrill. Head over to Teddy's page there, guys, and let's make it an extremely profitable Wednesday evening here, guys. Certainly on the hardwood. And on behalf of Steve Merrill, Teddy Covers, and Rob Vino, hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. Guys, come back. Join us again tomorrow for another edition of the NBA Tip-Off Show. Until then, best of luck with your plays tonight, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Fan of Super Bowl props, but not in Las Vegas for the big game? Hosting a Super Bowl party and want to keep everyone entertained? WagerTalk has you covered with our Super Bowl party prop sheet. The concept is simple and is easy for anyone to participate and follow. First, download and print out our Super Bowl 56 party prop sheet. Pass out to everyone at your Super Bowl party and determine the entry fee, if any, and payouts. All they have to do is circle their choices for each prop. And since almost all of them are 50-50, it does not require someone to be a huge football fan or understand sports betting to participate. To get your free Super Bowl party prop sheet, just go to wt.buzz/props and follow us on Twitter at WagerTalk the day of the big game to get results in real time.